بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تلك الرسل فضلنا بعضهم على بعض، منهم من كلم الله ورفع بعضهم درجات، وآتينا عيسى ابن مريم البينات وأيدناه بروح القدس، ولو شاء الله ما اقتتل الذين من بعدهم من بعد ما جاءتهم البينات ولكن اختلفوا فمنهم من آمن ومنهم من كفر، ولو شاء الله ما اقتتلوا ولكن الله يفعل ما يريد. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلة ولا شفاعة والكافرون هم الظالمون. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم، لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم، له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه، يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم، ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء، وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. لا إكراه في الدين، قد تبين الرشد من الغي، فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها، والله سميع عليم. الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور، والذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات، أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. ألم تر إلى الذي حاج إبراهيم في ربه أن آتاه الله الملك، إذ قال إبراهيم ربي الذي يحيي ويميت، قال أنا أحيي وأميت. قال إبراهيم فإن الله يأتي بالشمس من المشرق فأت بها من المغرب، فبهت الذي كفر والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية على عروشها قال أنى يحيي هذه الله بعد موتها، فأماته الله 100 عام ثم بعثه، قال كم لبثت؟ قال لبثت يوما أو بعض يوم. قال بل لبثت 100 عام فانظر إلى طعامك وشرابك لم يتسنه، وانظر إلى حمارك ولنجعلك آية للناس وانظر إلى العظام كيف ننشزها ثم نكسوها لحما فلما تبين له قال أعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير.
وإذ قال إبراهيم رب أرني كيف تحيي الموتى قال أولم تؤمن قال بلى ولكن ليطمئن قلبي قال فخذ 4 من الطير فصرهن إليك ثم اجعل على كل جبل منهن جزءا ثم ادعهن يأتينك سعيا واعلم أن الله عزيز حكيم. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم. الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. قول معروف ومغفرة خير من صدقة يتبعها أذى والله غني حليم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى كالذي ينفق ماله رئاء الناس ولا يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فمثله كمثل صفوان عليه تراب فأصابه وابل فتركه صلدا لا يقدرون على شيء مما كسبوا والله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. ومثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم ابتغاء مرضات الله وتثبيتا من أنفسهم كمثل جنة بربوة أصابها وابل
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear Mu'mineen and Mu'minat. I wish you this morning a very good morning on the 7th day of the holy month of Ramadan. We are together on this day, embarking this journey in the first 10 days of the holy month. And I wish that you are enjoying the blessings of fasting, the blessings of all the components, all the parts of this holy month, in order to become a better person, in order to become a person with taqwa, as it is said by the verses of Quran, that the purpose of fasting is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So like every day, we will have our day program start with few with few topics of discussion. I am going to announce the time for Sahur today, this morning. So inshallah, the Sahur will be 5:45 a.m. and the time for Fajr today will be 5:55. Maghrib, inshallah, tonight will be 7:52 p.m. So the fasting, as we are approaching in winter, the day is becoming shorter. So we are basically seeing a phenomena of shrinking in the day, which basically makes fasting a little bit easier. So I have a hadith with you for today to share. It is from our popular book of hadith, Wasail al-Shia, and I will read the translation. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. A fasting person must avoid lying, sin, dispute, jealousy, backbiting, opposing the truth, swearing, blaming, anger, sarcasm, oppression, abusing people, neglect, being social with those people who are the people of sin, who slander and gossip, eating non-permissible things while paying special attention with regards to prayers. So now it's not about what not to do, it's about what to do. So paying special attention with regards to your prayers, being patient, being truthful, and being in constant remembrance of the day of resurrection. So we have many hadith from the Prophet and from our Imams that emphasize on the fact that fasting is not just about staying hungry or thirsty, but it also includes a lot of responsibility. And I remember Maulana mentioned yesterday about the act of Hajj. We all know those who have been to Hajj, may Allah get you who haven't been to Hajj to do this great ibadah, this great pilgrimage, that it does make a lot of halal impermissible. For example, one cannot apply perfume, one cannot look at the mirror while he is in ihram. And there are many other conditions, control over your tongue, and being always in a state of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So similarly, as we go deep in the worship of fasting, we get to learn that it's beyond eating and drinking. Of course, not eating and drinking gives us control over our nafs, ourself, our souls. But when it does give us control over intentionally not going towards food or those things that are permissible, then we build that inner strength to stand against those which are unlawful. And sometimes we, being humans, we slip, I might lie in an instance where I think that I think that it is in my benefit. So it creates a self-check upon us all the time, that we always remember that we are in this act of worship, in this act of ibadah towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are checking ourselves. So we are given the sheet to mark our own questions. So this is the beauty of this act of worship, fasting, and few thoughts that I wanted to share with you in perspective of this hadith. Inshallah, it is the time for us to move to our next segment, which is fasting, which is the talk by Sayyid Muhammad al-Mudarrisi, and inshallah we will take benefit from his talk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلائق أجمعين حبيبنا وقائد مسيرتنا المصطفى الأمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم كل وليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى أباه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا الرحيم والذين آمنوا وهاجروا وجاهدوا في سبيل الله والذين آووا ونصروا أولئك هم المؤمنون حقا لهم مغفرة ورزق كريم آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. When a person dies, he will take his deeds with him to his grave. And according to our tradition and to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, that when a person dies, إذا مات الإنسان أو إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع إلا عن ثلاث. He will be severed from this world, but from three things. One is علم ينتفع به, a knowledge that people can benefit from. أو صدقة جارية, or a charity that again people can benefit. أو ولد صالح يدعو له, or a good son or children that will pray for him. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. This hadith is, of course, been agreed upon even by someone like Ibn Taymiyyah. And this hadith been narrated from both school of thought. And I'm even surprised that some people will cut this hadith short, as I once witnessed myself, that once a person was reciting and saying that إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع, that if a person dies, he will be severed from this world, and that's it. He didn't continue the hadith. With saying this, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he began with knowledge, and we know as knowledge is a beacon in the darkness, and thing that people can improve their life with, their aqidah with, and rebuild this dunya and akhirah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said a beautiful hadith to Abu Dharr Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayh, Ya Abu Dharr, al-julusu sa'ah عند مذاكرة العلم أحب إلى الله من قيام 1000 ليلة. If a person sits and seeks knowledge just for 1 hour, is dearest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves it more than a person who prays for 1,000 years. أحب إلى الله من قيام 1000 ليلة, that 1,000 nights. يصلي في كل ليلة 1000 ركعة, that he will pray each night 1,000 salat, 1,000 ركوع. والجلوس ساعة عند مذاكرة العلم, and sitting and seeking knowledge for 1 hour and for a period of time is dearest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala من 1000 غزوة وقراءة القرآن كله. That to go into the battles in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 1,000 times and reciting the whole Quran. We are upon, of course, the nights of Qadr, and Shaykh Al-Qummi Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayh, who compiled the book of Mafatih al-Jinan, he says in his book that the night that Shaykh al-Saduq narrates, and says that whoever stay up the night of 21st and the 19th with seeking knowledge is better than praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Interestingly, that he didn't mention the night of 23rd. So the second thing that comes that will benefit people even after long they are gone, and saying this, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you know this and experience this, that even the dearest person to you, when he dies, after a while you will not remember him as much as you did when he first passed away. I still remember there was this graveyard that a cemetery that I went to visit some of my relatives, and there was this lady who lost her son apparently, and she had her son's picture on the grave itself, and flowers all around it. Every time I go there, I see her, and I was there for a while. Next year, when I came, I did not see her anymore. And the year after. So it will become just anniversary, and they will be remembered just now, their anniversaries of passing away. So whatever you want to do for your akhirah, for your hereafter, you should do it yourself and not depend on others. And even with seeking knowledge, and the knowledge that benefits people, that you do it here. You do your best to, if you don't have that kind of capacity or time or opportunity, you can contribute in building a place that people seek knowledge in, like school, especially for orphans, like something printing a book. And I remember there was this Husayniyah in Karbala, that a person who was an elderly gentleman who passed away recently, he said that I contributed in that Husayniyah, and was the Husayniyah of the people of the Isfahan. And he said, when they gathered the money to build that Husayniyah in Karbala, they asked people for money. So some people didn't have much, so they contributed with giving the money to put a few blocks that there was the capacity, and there was how they can offer and what they can offer in building that place. So even as much as that, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward it. The second thing is that أو صدقة تجري له أو جارية, that's a sadaqah, something that people benefit from. A hospital, again, same thing goes for that. Someone cannot build a whole hospital for himself. He can contribute. He can contribute in a charity, and something that even long after he's gone, people can be benefiting from and people can use. And lastly, waladun salih. Islam emphasizes on building a community, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam emphasized on that, to bringing up a good children to be an active member of the society. And that depends on the parents themselves. If they neglect their children, they are neglecting even themselves, and they will not be benefiting from something that they already have, and the opportunity that they're gonna lose. Tomorrow is the day that we commemorate for the passing of Kafili Rasulullah, Nasr al-Yatim, Nasr al-Islam, Al-Mu'min al-Salih, Abu Talib, Abu Amir al-Mu'mineen, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, wa nasiru Rasuli Rabbil Alameen. There is truly some shortcoming from, not just shortcoming, I'm just sugarcoating it in this regard, from other school of thought in regards of Abu Talib. Of course, not all of them. Just recently, there was a person from a Shafi'i, if I'm not mistaken, school of thought. I heard that he was defending Abu Talib, Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhi, that the hadith that says, a fake hadith, that the Amawis fabricated against Abu Talib, Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhi, even though there is a lot of indication, there's a lot of hadith, there's a lot of poetry from Abu Talib himself that showed his iman, that it's not what just he said, like a lot of so-called companions, but something that he showed by his act, and he proved to be a true mu'min, and that is to be taking care of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and when he grew up, to protect Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with his life, and not just with his life, and everyone knows that the life of his children are more dearest to himself than his own, and he did exactly that. So Abu Talib, he had a at least two of the qualities that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has mentioned, that if a person pass away, he will get thawab and rewards by leaving sadaqah jariyah, by leaving a knowledge, and by leaving a good son. And who's a better son than Amir al-Mu'mineen wa Qa'id al-Ghurr al-Muhajjalin, Ali ibn Abi Talib, alayhi alafu at-tahiyyati wa azka salam. So this Shafi'i person said that the hadith that says Abu Talib is at the top level, wal-'ayadhu billah, of hellfire, is, even if we said that's a hadith sahih, it's an authenticated hadith, that hadith means that Abu Talib was a Muslim, was a mu'min, because the top level of hell, as the other school of thought say, it is preserved for the mu'mineen who sinned, who the muwahhideen, correction here, for the muwahhideen, for the believers who have committed a sin and didn't ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness and had some shortcomings. So even if they say that it is preserved for them, this Abu Talib will be going there, it shows that in another way that Abu Talib was a muwahhid, radwanullahi ta'ala alayhi. Abu Talib, when he was passing by and saw Rasulullah just praying with his cousin and his aide, Amir al-Mu'mineen salamullahi alayhi, and he was with Ja'far salamullahi alayhi, he said to him, Sil janah ibn ammik, go and connect the wing of your cousin. And when he saw Ja'far went and prayed behind Rasulullah, and he was as a wing with Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi to Rasulullah, he said that he mentioned, started reciting a poetry, and وَانْصَرَفَ مَسْرُورًا, and he was happy to see this. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said to Ja'far, Ya Ja'far, wasalta janah ibn ammik, inna Allah yu'awwidhuka min dhalika janahaini tatiru bihima fil jannah. That you have connected the wing of your cousin as a metaphor. And for this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, later he was martyred by in the battle of Tabuk, and his both hands were cut, and he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replaced them with two wings that he will fly in heaven with. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, in a hadith that, again, this hadith has been narrated by both school of thought, that he said, Ana wa kafiru al-yatimi kahatain, he put his index finger and middle finger together, that me and the caretaker of a yatim are like this in heaven. And when Abu Talib radwanullahi ta'ala alayhi passed away, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, when he received the news by Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, he says to Abu Talib, وصلتك يا رحما يا عم وجزيت خيرا فلقد ربيت وكفلت صغيرا. O uncle, mercy of Allah be upon you. He says that you have raised me when I was young, and fostered me when I was orphaned, and aided me and supported me when I grew up. فَلَقَدْ رَبَّيْتَ وَكَفَلْتَ صَغِيرًا وَنَصَرْتَ وَآزَرْتَ كَبِيرًا. And he then went to his grave and said, Ama wallah la'astaghfiranna laka wa la'ashfa'anna fika shafa'atan ya'jibu laha thaqalan. He said that I will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness for you and will intercede on your behalf, that the creation will be in awe from this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate the level of Abu Talib salamullahi alayhi in heaven, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gather us with the mu'mineen and salihin. إنه ولي التوفيق. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك من بهائك بأبخار وكل بهائك بهي اللهم إني أسألك ببهائك كله اللهم إني أسألك من جمالك بأجمله وكل جمالك جميل اللهم إني أسألك بجمالك كله اللهم إني أسألك من جلالك بعجله وكل جلالك جليل اللهم إني أسألك بجلالك كله اللهم إني أسألك من عظمتك بعظمها وكل عظمتك عظيما اللهم إني أسألك بعظمتك كله اللهم إني أسألك من نورك بأنواره وكل نورك نير اللهم إني أسألك بنورك كله اللهم إني أسألك من رحمتك بأوسعها وكل رحمتك واسعة اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك كله اللهم إني أسألك من كلماتك بأتمنا وكل كلماتك تامة اللهم إني أسألك بكلماتك كلها اللهم إني أسألك من كمالك بأكمله وكل كمالك كامل اللهم إني أسألك بكمالك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من أسمائك بأكبرها، وكل أسمائك كبيرا. اللهم إني أسألك بأسمائك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من عزتك بعظم، وكل عزتك عزيزا. اللهم إني أسألك بعزتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من مشيئتك بأمزاها، وكل مشيئتك ماضيا. اللهم إني أسألك بمشيئتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من قدرتك بالقدرة التي استطلت بها على كل شيء، وكل قدرتك مستطيلا. اللهم إني أسألك بقدرتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من علمك بأنفذه، وكل علمك نافذ. اللهم إني أسألك بعلمك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من قولك بأرزاق، وكل قولك رضي. اللهم إني أسألك بقولك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من مسائلك بأحبها إليك، وكل مسائلك إليك حبيبا. اللهم إني أسألك بمسائلك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من شرفك بأشرفه، وكل شرفك شريف. اللهم إني أسألك بشرفك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من سلطانك بأدومه، وكل سلطانك دائم. اللهم إني أسألك بسلطانك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من ملكك بأفخره، وكل ملكك فاخر. اللهم إني أسألك بملكك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من علوك بآلام، وكل علوك اللهم إني أسألك بعلوك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من منك بأقدمه، وكل منك قديم. اللهم إني أسألك بمنك كل. اللهم إني أسألك من آياتك بأكرمهم وكل آياتك كريما. اللهم إني أسألك بآياتك كلهم. اللهم إني أسألك بما أنت فيه من الشان والجبروت، وأسألك بكل شان وحده وجبروت وحده. اللهم إني أسألك بما تجيبني به أسألك فأجرني يا الله.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. I welcome all of you Mu'mineen and Mu'minat once again in our program. So what a beautiful dua is Dua Sahar. We are just a few minutes away, literally 5 minutes away from the time for Fajr. As I mentioned earlier, no, my apologies. So not 5 minutes, to be precise, 7 minutes away from the time of Fajr. Sahur was 5:45 this morning, and 5:55 is the time for Fajr, inshallah. So we will go to the daily dua for the popular dua for the month of Ramadan. On the day 7th, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم أعني فيه على صيامه وقيامه وجنبني فيه من هفواته وأثامه وارزقني فيه ذكرك بدوامه بتوفيقك يا هادي المضلين. Now we will read the translation. O Allah, assist me in this month. Ala siyamihi wa qiyameh. So it's precisely on this fasting and on this qiyam is literally standing up. And of course, qiyam is used in many meanings in Quran and in the prophetic traditions. Where it so one of the way to understand qiyam in this perspective is that we are standing up for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month, against our wills, against our desires. Allah assist me in this month towards fasting and qiyam, to observe fast in its days and worship you in the nights. So another beautiful fact about this month is that during the day, those people who are Urafa, who are the people of knowing, the people of taqwa, the people who truly worship Allah, and of course, who's the best example for us than the Prophet ﷺ and the Ma'asumin. So they taught us that we should fast during the day and spend time in the night in worship of Allah. And one of the acts that I have heard from the scholars is the act of Salatul Layl. Salatul Layl is a beautiful, beautiful prayer. I pray to Allah to give me opportunity to do it and all of you. those who haven't tasted it. And it technically, according to Ayatollah Sistani, who's my marja, and many of yours as well, and I believe you can refer to your Maraji in terms of this particular question, that the time for Salatul Layl starts from midnight. So literally before we sleep, you can actually pray part of it, or you can pray, the 2 rakat witr. But in general, Salatul Layl, the most recommended time is before Sahar. So when you wake up, if you get a chance, if you get the opportunity, one can spend time in praying Salatul Layl. There are details mentioned. So we continue the dua. Restrain me from indulging in useless activities and transgression, or basically disobedience to the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So many a times we don't realize that during the day we are fasting, or even during the night time, we start talking about that is of no benefit. So there are many things that we normally do, and we have taken it as a routine. So instead of wasting our time, it is a good opportunity to read a good book, to learn about Islam, to read Quran, most of it. And there is internet on, on our fingertips now. You can search up ahadith. You can basically read the du'as of Masumeen. So there is so much to learn, and not just for the sake of reading and not understanding, but also you can read translation in different languages, and also, try to apply those whatever you learn. Or, I mean, it could be as small as few paragraphs for each day. And then in dua, it says, keep me alive, praising you, O Allah, day in and day out. So one of the facts that we have forgotten in our life is that we stop appreciating what we have around us. And with the new gadgets that we have, we often lock ourselves inside those gadgets, and we don't see the beauty, the universe that is around us. And that is, the changes that are happening, the flowers that are blooming. And now we are basically entering the time of fall, which is before winter. And you see the beautiful phenomena of the whole environment changes, and the colors and the sky, and look at those stars and the planets. They are created for us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to understand that, see that some of these stars, they are hundreds and thousands of light years away from us, and perhaps they are no more, but their light still exists. So these are the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we focus on them, if we spend our time on seeing and observing it, literally, like, it's one of the way that how we can praise the creation of Allah, and praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the dua concludes, through your guidance and grace, or the guide of those who are prone to go astray. So without the help of Allah, we cannot stay on Siratul Mustaqim. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us on Siratul Mustaqim. And of course, as Prophet says, that the Sirat of Ali ibn Abi Talib is the Sirat of the Prophet, and the salat of Prophet is the salat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with these words, inshallah, I'll take an opportunity to leave and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us best opportunity on the 7th day of the holy month, and forgive our sins and give us tawfiq to apply that we learn. And also do not forget each other in your du'as and the marhumin who are needy of our du'as. So we'll go to Azan now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن عليًا ولي الله أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين عليًا ولي الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على حي على خير العمل، حي على خير العمل. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله. عليك وعلى آلك الطيبين الطاهرين، والحمد لله رب العالمين.